Yes, please go ahead.
Suggest.
Please go on.
Yeah, sure. And as I said, like, if you want, you can turn on your camera. If not, that is also fine for me, and for everybody. But make sure that you are on a mute, when you are not speaking, so that we can minimize the noise. With that, yeah, we will get started. We have enough people, and we don't want to wait. First of all, good evening, everyone who are in India, and good morning, Chinkalji. It is my honor to welcome you all for this beautiful meeting, where we are going to talk about how to create an impact through personal development. And for the next 30 minutes, I'm going to mostly talk about how we can create an impact through personal development. And honestly, there are millions of ways to create an impact. But I will talk about my experiences, which have worked out for me personally. And I personally believe that making it an impact is about, it's a very powerful word. Impact is all about making a difference in the world. So if you are making a difference, you are making an impact, and it can be done in a different way. I do it through personal development. So I separate personal development with impact, because I personally believe that if I'm a good person and if I'm growing myself as a person in personal development, then I can make an impact. And impact is a way to create, to touch the life of people. And the good news is, we live in an era where we can simply touch the life of people. We don't need to be a millennial or billionaire to do that, to be honest with you, or a celebrity personality. All you need is the burning desire to make a difference. So that's the thing. Makes sense. Makes sense to everybody. I'm not going too fast, right? Able
Yes,
to.
That
yes.
is correct. Thank you.
Sure.
Correct.
Good. So let me tell you this. I am on this journey to make an impact from last 4 to 5 years, and I can proudly say that I have already started making an impact. Because I believe that I have got everything what it takes to make an impact. So I will mostly talk about what are the things I do. And let me tell you this: if I share 100 ideas, it may not work, right? But all you need is just one idea to make a difference, right? And trust me, whatever I'm going to share, it is all my knowledge which I have gathered through books, through podcasts, through reading people, meeting people. So there are like 101 rules basically, which I have in my calendar, in my diary. But in the next 30 minutes, trust me, I'm not going to cover those. So I have listed down, I have break it down into 30 rules. So 30 rules for making an impact for through personal development. And all rules are very simple. So, and let me tell you this, after this session you will be able to understand all the rules. So if it feels overwhelming, don't worry about it. Just try to understand that you can do it. So the first rule I believe for making an impact through personal development is take 100% responsibility. No matter what, take 100% responsibility of life. So what I mean by that is stop blaming situations, circumstances, and giving excuses. Trust me. Uh, Yesterday I had a call with Chinkalji, right? I started the call, and the first thing I said is, "Hey, I'm sorry, I could not pick your call." Same thing I did with Asutos in the group, right? He asked me to send the list of books. It's not that I was not working on that list, right? So I could have easily avoided him, right? But I said like, "Hey, I'm sorry." And if I said sorry, that does not mean that I don't have his respect, right? I have already his respect. He will honor more, right? So I personally believe like whatever is happening in your life, take 100% responsibility. You are the one who is responsible for everything. So the moment you take responsibility, your life, you will look life from a different perspective. So that's the number one thing. And I see like there's a major gap when people talk about responsibility. It is not about just taking responsibility at your work. It is about taking responsibility at your personal life, in your family circumstances, with friends, everybody. So that was the number one. The number two thing what I believe is, believe in yourself and believe it is possible. So I personally believe that it is possible to make a difference. It is possible. It is always possible to be a group, to be a good leader, to be a good husband, to be a good son, to be a good friend, to be a good employee. So it's not like that if you are, if you are totally into the work, you can't be successful at home. Trust me, it's not like that. Every role in your life has certain rules, right? So for example, when you enter into the wedding phase of the life, initial phase is going to be challenging, that's for sure, because we are entering into a new phase of life. That does not mean that it will end up bad, right? So we have to believe that, hey, this is just a phase, and I believe that I should be able to get through it. So that's the number one thing. No matter how much we will talk about it, if you don't believe that you want to be a powerful communicator, I can't make a difference. So that you have to believe in yourself, and there are 100 ways to make that happen. The one thing which I liked about having a self belief is doing positive affirmation, telling a lot of good things about yourself, and you train your subconscious mind. So that's the number two. The number three is you have to be very kind with everybody in this world. So be kind to the strangers. Even I don't know some people, right? When I kind of like drive, and I call people by name, and that makes a difference. I remember one example, Chinkalji. I was in Premium Outlet Mall, and I was doing a shopping at Express. It's a good brand. I love it. So there was a lady, and I told her, hey, how are you doing? And she was like, I'm doing great. I'm glad you asked. Not a lot of people have asked me today, so little things you can do to make other person very happy. And trust me, when you are kind to the stranger, that means that you respect them. So that is the no, that was my number three. Number four is, and this is proven and tested, unleash the power of goal setting. So if you read like scriptures, all old religious books like Bhagavad Gita or Ramayana, everywhere people have talked about goal setting, right? What was the goal of Lord Rama, right? He wanted to fight for, he wanted to fight for the mankind. He wanted to set the examples of truth, that he has no personal grudges. He always wanted to fight for truth. So the thing is, if you want to make a difference in your life and somebody else's life, you have to set goals. And I'm talking about setting goals is a very big subject, and I have talked enough about setting goals. So the thing is, now it's your duty to go ahead and implement it. Whatever Chinkalji is sharing every day about her goals, I feel like those make sense to me. So have goals in all areas of life. I have asked her, to set goals for the next 1 year, and have that on her wall, so that she's looking at it every day, right? And goal setting is very easy. There's no rocket science, to be honest with you. And nothing to get confused. Goal setting is all about, see, I can see her goals, right? She has on the wall. So for example, goal setting is like, Asutosh is a sales manager, right? So what would be his goal? To become a best sales manager of Gujarat or, Ahmedabad. So that is a very simple goal, right? Asutosh is let's say he's in Ahmedabad, right? What can be his goals? His goals can be I want to be a best salesperson, right? So I have to be a powerful communicator. I have to be a great leader, because selling it is all about convincing people, right? Same thing in terms of health and fitness, in terms of personal development.
Ajay, sorry to interrupt you. I just want a little more elaborate about goal setting. Like goal setting is a very wide topic. It's not a small topic.
Right.
But still, when we talk about goal setting, there was some confusion because we are living in an era where every day we have a certain goals, certain challenges, certain
Mhm.
phase where we are working on it. So, what exactly goal setting we are talking about? Like one example you are given right now, that I am as a working as a sales manager. So I want to be a good salesperson in Gujarat or maybe in India, maybe in Bosch worldwide. So that is my future goal setting. It's very clear. But when I was working on the present time right now, so there are a lot of things which is going around. So how we can like what differentiate between all these goals? Like every day we have a certain challenges coming. So will
Yeah.
you be little bit elaborate about it?
Yeah, thanks.
Sorry to interrupt you, Ajay.
No, not at all. That's a good question. So here is the thing, Asutosh. Sorry, you have asked. I'm glad you have asked the great question. But as I said, first we will go and get through the presentation, right? And then we can take a question. So this is a good question. Just write it down, and either I or Chinkalji can answer. You separately or in the group, because we have talked enough about the goal setting. So definitely we would be we will love to help you outside of this meeting. All right. Cool. So the fifth, that's a good point though. So the fifth thing is, you always have to maintain a perspective and develop a positive mindset, right? So it's not about like the half glass full or half empty. We always have to think about positive things in life, right? How we can make our life much more meaningful. Correct. So if let's say that if we have wasted half an hour today, right? If we tell ourselves that, hey, I have wasted half an hour, I have wasted half an hour, tomorrow you will waste more than 1 hour, right? So it is a other way to look at it, like, hey, I have wasted half an hour, but I'm not happy with it, right? So tomorrow I'm not going to repeat it. So that I call the positive mindset. And the positive mindset is all about, it's about building the mental muscle, right? It's about mental training, and it takes a lot of effort. It cannot be done in one day, to be honest with you. But if you ask me personally, yes, we can develop positive mindset, because I have developed it, right? And I have, Chinkalji, I have no same saying that we belong to a class where, Asutosh, you can correct me, we were somebody who have never scored more than 30 marks in mathematics, right? And from there to become a renowned software engineer, and thinking about, that's the fact, Tinkalji. In during our lifetime we scored 30, 34, 35, always passing marks. But from there to becoming a software engineering journey was not easy, to be honest with you. Yeah. I scored, I think, 94% in my engineering, so. But I always believed that that time I didn't score because I didn't had the purpose, but I always had the more positive mindset. So that is the one thing. Six, number 6 rule is, you have to wake up early, right? Wake up early, because when you wake up early morning, you get plenty of time to work on your, decide what you want to do on your day, right? And I won't be telling you what time you have to wake up, to be honest with you. For everybody it is different. For Hira it can be 3 a.m, for Asutosh it can be 6 a.m, for Chinkalji it can be 7, for me it can be 7. But I will tell you one thing from my experience: try to wake up on the same day every day. It does not matter what time you wake up. If you look at examples, right? Steve Jobs used to wake up at 5 a.m. Mark Zuckerberg, he is the one who wakes up at 8 a.m, right? And this guy, what his name, Satya Nadella, right? He wakes up at 6 a.m. Everybody is successful. So the key point here is, when you wake up, just decide a time that, hey, every day I want to wake up at 7 a.m. In that way you are not playing against your body, right? So that was like my take on waking up early. Because when I wake up early every day, right, I ask myself that, hey, how I can make a difference today, right? Why I'm here on this earth. I ask these questions when I go on a walk, right? These are the top questions I ask. Okay, how I can make a difference in my relationship today, how I can make my day better, right? So when you wake up early, you have time to do these things, right? If, let's say, if your office starts at 9:30, and if you wake up at 9, you don't have time to do these things, but like some people have different opinion. My wife has a different opinion. She's like, you are already successful, so what is the need to wake up at 7 a.m, and prepare for this presentation, and I'm like, don't worry, I know what my purpose is for tomorrow. So I slept at 2 a.m yesterday, and today I'm here, with full energy, right? Because I believe that I'm here for a reason, right? So that was for waking up early. Number 7 point is, you have to set your daily agenda. So when I talk about daily agenda, that is the, like, daily goals or daily priorities, right? And yesterday I was talking to Chinkalji, and I said her that she had a question like, hey, what I should be writing on a daily to-do list, right? So what I told her is, you write everything, that everything whatever you is comes on a top of your head. Like if you are going to pick any prescription in Walgreens or CVS, write it down. If you are going to call somebody, write it down, right? The more you write on a piece of paper, that comes that is in your priority, and you will not miss it. And every time you strike it with the green, you get a different feeling of accomplishment, feeling of success, and that is more important. So to your question, Asutosh, if I were you, I will write down the daily task, that okay, these are my 5 tasks, these are my challenges, how I can overcome these challenges, right? So for example, if my daily goal is to study for 1 hour, right, and if my work is getting extended from by 2 hours, right, then I will ask myself whether I'm ready, whether my body is ready to study for 1 more hour. If the answer is yes, I will go ahead and do it. If the answer is no, I will wake up early morning the next day, 30 minutes early, and complete that challenge. Because Asutosh, there will be challenges in life. Let me tell you this: it's not about being in India or being in world in US. You can ask Chinkalji. Here we have different kind of challenges, but we have to deal through it. There's no other way around. To be honest with you, so that was my number 7. Number 8 is, I personally believe, is continuous learning is the minimum prerequisite for success in any field. Continuous learning is the minimum prerequisite. So when I say continuous learning, right, I'm not telling you to read books daily. No, it is on you. If you want to read, that's a great. Study for 1 hour in your area of expertise, right? It can be your work, it can be your developing a skill, but study for 1 hour every day without fail, because knowledge knowledge will never be wasted, to be honest with you. And you see right now how the world is evolving, right? So now the rate at which the knowledge is getting obsolete is like really phenomenal. You see that? So for example, whatever you have learned 5 years back, those knowledge may not be relevant today. So that's where you have to upgrade yourself. Correct. I was reading a magazine last night, Times Magazine, where they talk about the power of AI, right? So it's not about that a lot of jobs are going. It's about the survival of the fittest. That's the rule, right? That's the human biology rule, which will empower everybody in this world. So I request all of you to study for 1 hour every day. Read books, read in your area of expertise, like Chinkalji. You can read something related to data engineering, go for certification. For Asutosh, again, you can gain some sales skills, right? Because like your area and our area is bit different, right? So whatever maybe like we can learn technology, you can learn people skills, so that will give you an edge. Point number 9 is, you need to have a self discipline in life, guys. You need to have a self discipline, and that is only possible by doing the things again and again, right? How many of you have heard about at least Brian Tracy? Yeah, yes, Brian Tracy, he's a good author. Brian Tracy, if you talk about self discipline, time management, and productivity, nobody I can think on this planet better than Brian Tracy. And that's why I recommended Asutosh to read a book called what was that book? Yeah, it was Eat That Frog. So that book talks about
Eat that frog.
yeah, that book talks about 21 steps to avoid procrastination and achieve more in less time. It's a great time management and productivity book, which I have already talked about. So try to have self-discipline, and that is only possible by building good habits. And already we are doing it in the group, right? Building good habits, and I'm sharing it, how I am doing, having a good habit, how I'm developing my good habits. Number 10 is, and this is a very good rule I have learned this later on my life, is you have to exercise every day. Trust me, the more you exercise, the more stronger you get, right? And you are in a good physical shape, and that because when your body will not support, right, what you are doing, it is of no use. So try to exercise for 1 hour or at least for 30 minutes, because research has proven that if you exercise for 1 hour every day, you are adding 6 hours in your life. So that is the research from Stanford University. So exercise, no excuse on that. And trust me, out of 24 hours, we can take 1 hour or 30 minutes for ourselves, right? I mean, this is the amount of time we might be wasting on our reels, right? On our social media, right? So we can at least take for ourselves. We can stand for ourselves. Point number 11 is always build a library of good books. Have a small library of good books, because books, through books you can meet people, right? So for example, if you want to take like a course, right, from Brian Tracy, he will ask like $5,000. We may not afford it, right? But we can read his books. At least we can learn 20-30% of his mindset, right? So books gives you access to the thought process for to anybody who does not exist. For example, when I read Steve Jobs autobiography, right, he was not alive when I read it, but I learned a lot of good things about him, a lot of good qualities which I can implement in my life. So you can build a library of good books like this. And trust me, it is not very expensive, especially when you are living in India. You can get books at very cheap price, and go buy it out and build a good library. That really helps. That is what we are working on, myself and my wife. Point number 11 is half of your success is determined by a number of people you associate with, correct? So here's the thing, right? You always have to believe that you are the average of 5 people you spend time most with. That Jim Rohn has said. And we come from a religious family background where people talk about satsang or whatever, right? Being in a right company. So when you are associating with the good people, you understand their mindset, you adopt their habit, right? You adopt their behavior, you adopt their attitude. So make sure to associate with 5 good people. And how can you do that? Let's say that if you don't have good people around you, like when I say good people, it's not about being kind, or it's about people who are ambitious, people who have goals, right? People whom you admire as a person. So if you don't have that person in your life, no problem, you can at least associate them online, right? So for example, there are some people, I wish they could be in my life, but they are not. So I'm reading their books, right? I'm going through their YouTube content, right? So for example, Jim Rohn, he was a great public speaker. I mean, I have never ever listened to better public speaker than Jim Rohn, right? I can share the link with you, but he's not alive. But when I listen to his YouTube videos, right, it gives me a lot of motivation and courage to follow the fundamentals, because he broke down things very simple, very, very simple. So that is the power of association. For example, let's say that myself and Chinkalji, we are in software engineering field, right? So we should be associating with people who are at least trying their best in our field. So for example, I associate with my friend who are principal software engineer in companies like Microsoft, right? So when I talk with him, I get a lot of perspective about what can be done in data engineering field, what can be done in software engineering field. So make sure to do that. So the number 12, 13 thing is you have to maintain a journal. I have talked about it enough. And trust me, guys, I have been doing journaling, I think here from last 4 years again. So the good thing is if I adopt a good habit, I go far from that. So when you write journal, you may ask, right, I am not a good writer. What should I write? You simply write how you are feeling that day. Like, what are the challenges you are facing in life? What are the commitments you have made to yourself, whether you are fulfilling that commitment or not. Very simple. And you don't have any format for that. You can follow any format. For example, if you ask me what I write in my journal, it varies. When I was at initial phase of career, right, I was struggling. So I used to write like, hey, these are the 10 things which is not working out. Right? So I used to write like that, so that somebody is there to listen to me, right? It's a self-healing process. But now I write like things which I'm grateful for, like things which are more concerning to me, things which I'm passionate about, helping people or developing skills, my goals. So you can write anything and everything in the journal. Point number 14 is and this is Chinkalji, when we grow up in India, especially nothing to be ashamed of, but I feel like this should be have been taught from our parents or something. We have to take care of our nutrition, like the food habit. That is very important. And when I say that nutrition, right, it's not about just eating salad or salad or anything like that, or drinking juice. If needed, try to get an expert advice, or there are plenty of resources. Because trust me, you can ask Chingalji. If your food is food is medicine, right? Food is like a fuel in your body, right? So if you are driving a car and if you don't have a gas, right, it can't go that far, right? So you have to make sure that you are following a good nutrition. In fact, like in terms of carbs or protein or a food, I mean, eating what you call like cheat food is okay, but some days at least try to have a good diet. I feel like the more I cleaner I eat, the more intense I think actually. And in the last 2 years, I have changed my diet a lot, and it is helping me. So that's the important thing. If you needed, spend money there. If you spend money, it's not that always it's worthless, right? They might have spent, I say, like thousands and thousands of dollar in getting that kind of specialization, right? So why not go ahead and get consultation in 500 and 1,000 rupees, right? If it is required, correct? So do that. 15th point is, what I believe is you have to sleep well, right? And by sleeping well, it means it does not mean that you have to sleep for 8 hours or 9 hours or 7 hours or 6 hours. Honestly, there there's a no one size fit for all rule here. For some people, right, they get 6 hours of sleep and they are happy, right? For some it needs 8 hours. It depends upon your body. Listen to your body and ask yourself that, hey, look, so for example, for me, rather than number of hours, quality of sleep is more important for me. So for example, when I go bed, right, I go with, when I'm very tired, and I think I go bed and then I wake up early morning. So in between, I don't toss around the bed and all. But for everybody, it can be different. So you have to find out and then follow a good sleep routine. That is very important. Point number 16 is, if you want to make an impact, right? If you want to influence people, you have to connect with them, right? And how you will connect with them? If you have great communication skills, correct? So point number 6 is, be a powerful communicator. And let me tell you this, guys, there is no barrier, right? So when my wife tells that, hey, she has joined a public speaking club, and she's telling like, it is a barrier. I'm like, no, don't say like that. Language is not a barrier. It is the barrier we are keeping on our mind, so if you want to achieve success in communication, there are set of rules, right? You have to follow. So be a powerful communicator. For all of you, I would highly recommend you to join Toastmaster International or any public speaking club. Spend some money and join. Let me tell you, you will find great people there. In terms of, you will be building good communication skills, and at the same time you are building a good network there, right? You can find people who can help you in their life. I have made great friends there, and I'm really proud on the care they do for me. They are close to my heart. If I have any problem, I can call them, and they are good intellectuals. So I would highly recommend you to join a public speaking club or anything like that. Point number 17 is, we live in a busy world, right? So whenever you are going out, make sure to carry a book in your bag. So let's say that if you are going to a vacation, right, still you carry a book in your bag. So what will happen is, Chikalji, we were in Florida, right? So in if you go to Florida, in Universal Studio, right, for one ride you have to wait for 1 hour in the line. So in that queue, right, you have two choices. Either just look at people and waste time, or either you can read some good stuff, right? Or anyhow, if you are going to any public places or a grocery store where we have huge crowd, all you can do is just read something from there. Not physical copy, then you can have digital copy, right? audiobook or something like that. That really helps because you have to find out the time, right? Time is always there. We just have to find out. All of us are busy in our life, right? So for example, when you are driving for 1 hour, right, you can listen to audiobooks, right? You may not get 100% content, but at least it's better than something, so that was the thing. Point number 19 is what I believe is take a weekly sabbatical. So take 1 day off in a week. That's okay. You need some break in a week. And it comes from our ancient practice where seventh day is like a rest day. But when I say rest day, right, don't mistake me. Your rest day does not have to last for one whole day, to be honest with you. That day is to just rejuvenate yourself, right? Recreate your life. So think about, hey, what is not going well in my life, right? Take some break, from busy life and watch some good movies, whatever you feel, or go on a drive. But trust me, that should not be an excuse for wasting the time throughout the day. If you are like taking a day off and scrolling through social media for a whole day, what you have gained? Already you are seeing a lot of content, right? And you will think about opinion and all. No, you just take break for few hours, maybe first half or second half, spend time with your family, go out, take them out for good ice cream or good restaurant. That is a good use of time. I believe that sometimes we need to take a break to reevaluate life's priority. Point number 20 is implement what you learned. So it's very important to implement whatever. If you don't implement what you learn, is of no use, right? So try to implement it, right? Like for example, if you learned power of goals writing, try to implement it every day, or at least try more times. You will fail. Every time you fail, you try to do it differently. So that was the point number 20. Point number 21 is increase your earning capability. So for example, whatever money you are making right now, try to increase your income, right? And let me tell you this, don't mistake me, guys. And this is only for people who are already successful in their career here in this group. If you are not successful in your career, trust me, if you have job security and all, don't follow my advice on this. Let me tell you. So for example, you need to have a job security. If your job is not secure, try to secure it first, right? And then think about generating multiple sources of income, and we can do it. But again, I'm telling you, try to first achieve success in your career so that you have a good mindset, and then you can think about generating multiple source of income in this busy world. Point number 22 is be productive. Be productive, but not busy. So by being productive, I mean that you have to think about always about what you have achieved, right? The results, not about just getting through the task done. So these were my 22 points. I feel like to make a difference, there are 8 more points, but which we don't have time right now. I will go ahead and send these 8 remaining points in the group and probably explain in 1 or 2 lines what it means, and we will take care of this. I hope this helps a little bit in developing a good mindset and creating about an impact, and we will do it together.
Correct, correct, Ajay.
Yeah,
It's
and
really been very productive. A lot of points are very good. So
yeah.
thank you so much for